Let's get ready to rumble.
Yes, we're back. It is episode 94 of the Hibs Ramble. I'm joined this week by Craig. He's decided to make an appearance. Must be a blue moon tonight. And Shaun, how are we getting on, boys?
All good, mate. All good.
Doing
Glad
very
to
well.
be back.
It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you.
Oh, well, thanks for that, mate. Shaun, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. All the better for seeing Craig. It definitely makes me feel a little bit better seeing him.
That's a nice thing to say.
Been a while.
What
I don't
that's
say it
a
about
really
everyone.
nice thing.
I definitely don't say it about you, but aye.
Yeah, but I think that you're just not very nice at times, Shaun. You used to be a really nice boy as well. You know what I mean? And you've just
It's this
kind of
complex he's
ruined
got for having his nice big house. That's what it
Yeah.
is. He's a
Tell you
never
what,
de
the house,
facto
the
Tory.
house made absolutely no difference to that. Like,
Oh well, fair dues. See tonight, boys, I think it's going to be a rather uneventful podcast. We've had a 4-0 trouncing to Peterhead on Saturday. There's nothing else really happening at Hibs. So I tweeted out from the Ramble account earlier on if the listeners would set the agenda. Now we'll get round to that shortly. But before we do, we will chat a wee bit about the Peterhead win, the key points, the main points that I've pulled out is the Warren O'Hora injury. I've still not heard anything about that. I don't know if yous have heard anything about what's happened, if he's okay. That's kind of the last thing we need at the moment, really.
I saw something in the aftermath of it saying that he should be fine after a couple of days, and it's nothing serious. But nothing else has really came out after that. But just touching on what you first said, Liam, to kick the podcast off by saying it'll be uneventful is a really good way to keep the listener retention in. So very well done.
Yeah, well, I suppose so. Well, in that case, I was lying. This is going to be the most exciting, electrifying podcast
In sports
that you've
entertainment.
ever listened to. So, no, we're not going to lie to you. No, so 4-0 against Peterhead. Craig, kind of job done through the group, although that loss against Kelty's kind of killed us. But, I mean, winning 5-0, 5-1 and 4-0 across 4 games, although we got beat once, sets us up nicely, you would imagine, for going into the league campaign.
You'd think so, but that Kelty loss has obviously done more damage than we realised at the time, because on Saturday we got ourselves into a position where it was almost like goal for goal with Queen's Park. And they could, I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't have probably mattered because finishing first or second we would have went through anyway. But that loss to Kelty's really damaged. Obviously, the next round of being seeded, because we've been seeded, we've probably got the worst tie that we could want, which is away to Celtic Park. But it's hard to put too much stock into these games, really, because it's, as much as folk didn't want to hear it or admit it, it is still just pre-season. So the flack that Gray got after the Celtic game, you can understand it, but also don't understand it, because you're not going to play your strongest 11 in every single game. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, and the thing is as well, Kelty are in what league? Are they still League One? But they finished our end of League One, I think 7th or 8th or something. The team that we had in the park that day were still more than capable of beating them.
100%. That's a
So-
frustrating bit for me, though.
Yeah, that's one of the games that you see. I think that in cup competitions every single season, you see a lower team giving the bigger team a bloody nose. But obviously, in the grander scheme of things, when you look at it in isolation, it almost makes it worse given the other results, and that we trounced the other teams comfortably, and then the teams that we trounced also then in turn trounced Kelty. So
Yeah.
it's not great, but I think the League Cup campaign doesn't really put us in a good stead or bad stead for the season. That'll be more determined on how the squad looks in the next few days leading up to the St Mirren game, I think.
You'd imagine so, but I mean, I can't imagine a a world in which winning 5-0, 5-1 and 4-0, either side of a 1-0 defeat is bad. It's nice to see that the players came where the goal is, at least. I mean, I think in times, in seasons gone by, especially the season before last when we went out of the group stage, these teams are trying to come and give Hibs a bit of a bloody nose and, try and get their season off to a bit of a flyer. Because, if Kelly Hearts would probably have been really propelled by the fact that they beat us. I know that they ended up getting pumped off was it Queen's Park themselves, but give them a lot of belief. And for a lot of teams, with all due respect, it's their cup finals, coming to Easter Road and in a competitive game, or playing Hibs at home in a competitive game. So these are never going to be the easiest of games. But no, absolutely agree that we should have beat them. Shaun, a positive from Saturday though, a couple of goals from Lewis Miller. I don't think he meant the first one. Second one half decent, and then Nathan Mariah Welsh gets his first goal for the club. Couple of unexpected goal scorers in there.
Yeah, you could probably say all of them were unexpected, even though obviously Rudy's got another one, which again we touched on last week. So he's continuing to perform really well, which is great to see. Mariah Welsh takes his finish very, very well. Just comes onto it and just kind of doesn't really need to do anything. Just needs to hit the ball, and there's enough pace on the ball for it to go in. And yeah, 2 goals for Lewis will do him the world of good, especially when the content the club put out recently with him and Martin Boyle in the teammates segment, he mentioned about Chris Cadden being there to take his place. So he understands that there's probably a internal rivalry between the two of them, and he needs to perform well. And regardless of the opposition, scoring 2 goals will do him the world of good.
From right back as well, and the first one was his left foot. It was probably the worst good goal that you've ever seen. But,
I saw someone compare it. I don't know if you've seen it. I've seen someone compare it to the De La Cruz goal against Hearts, and I just shook my head and
I don't know if
after seeing that comparison, because they're nothing like each other.
No, I think the only similarity is that they were at the same side of the stadium. But other than that, I'm not too sure. I think De La Cruz maybe meant his a wee bit more than Lewis Miller did. It was just a scuffed cross, definitely. And the goalie really should have been all over it. But no, it's a wee bit embarrassing. I was actually there on Saturday with Myla, but she was fed up at half time, so I only saw 1 goal, and it was that goal. And I heard the rest of them in the car going back on the radio, which was a bit annoying. But it finally has broken the streak that she is now been in attendance when Hibs have won a competitive game of football. So
technically she wasn't though, because the final whistle never went with her in the stadium.
No, but she was in attendance during. It's the first time that she's been to a game, watched Hibs for any period of time, and we've ended up winning.
Right. Okay.
Okay, is that better, Mr. Craig?
But you still can't claim it as a record.
Well, it is though.
It's not.
Breaks the streak.
It's like saying you were there when you saw Harry McCurdy score, but you only watched it on the TV.
Aye.
No, because I wasn't there for any point of the time that Harry McCurdy scored. Which is now twice. He's scored twice now, and the only reason that he's not done the arrow is because I've not been there, I think.
Possibly, aye.
Harry McCurdy, if you could confirm or deny, it would be perfect.
That harks back to that the first time when he warmed up as a sub.
I tell you what, it's an absolute corker to celebrate. I'm just desperate to see it, man. I feel like I say this every week. I'm just absolutely desperate to see it.
The only guy in the stadium standing up at that time, and he just ran right past you and didn't even acknowledge it.
Neither would I. I'm ages with Harry McCurdy. If if I was him and I'd ran past a similar age man doing my celebration in the stand, I'd be like,
get me the fuck out of this club.
What you fucking do, mate? Maybe that's why Husney scored as well. Maybe he was doing it out of spite.
Maybe.
Knew that I would enjoy it. Right, moving swiftly on. This is how uneventful this week has been, we're going to talk about the third strip. Craig, you have hyped this third strip up for months and months and months, and it came out, and Shaun, I think you were a little bit underwhelmed at the time. I was a wee bit underwhelmed when I first saw it, but after having seen it on Saturday, I got one for myself, and it's my favourite of the lot, but it's not my favourite Joma strip. It's my favourite this season, but not my favourite overall. Shaun, you're the strip man. What was your initial thoughts when you seen the green and purple stripy kit?
Yeah, I think underwhelmed is probably putting it polite. I don't want to do Craig any disservice, and I don't want to insult him in any way. But yeah, I was most definitely unhappy with it. I think it will definitely be a grower. I think in fact, I don't think, I know that I'm one of the few people that don't like it, or aren't as keen on it. We put a couple of tweets out, and there's going to be a couple of other tweets coming throughout the week rating the Joma kit, so keep an eye out for them. But pretty much everyone was rating it, 7, 8, 9s, 10s and stuff like that, even higher than 10s, although I asked for a rating out of 10. Don't know how that works, but well done everyone. I can obviously see what they've tried to do. It's pretty much a carbon copy of the one from the 90s, barring the trim round the arm and the collar. With modern shirts, I don't actually like big thick collars, but that's just a personal preference.
I think it would have looked cool if it had like a round neck.
I think it would have looked a lot better with a round neck. I think a lot of kits nowadays do look better with round necks. If I'm being really pernickety, I feel like if you actually compare it to the one for the 90s, the Joma and the Hibs badge are a little bit too far central, and the sponsor is quite high on the shirt. But all in all, yeah, I'm quite underwhelmed by the shirt. But listen, it's a huge success through the Hibs support. I just think Joma as a whole this season I've kind of been an absolute letdown, but that's not necessarily a slight on this year's current kits. I think it's just more about the quality of what they've given us in the past. I think if we didn't have last year's home shirt the way that it was, I think this year's home shirt would have been a success, but because it's too similar to last year's, it's looked down upon, so to speak. When you look at like the black kit that we had and some of the other, like the white kit with the pinstripes and stuff like that, if you look at some of the other kits that we've had, I feel like we've progressively got worse with Joma. So hopefully, considering
but I don't think any of them have been total stinkers, to be honest. Like we had
probably this season. Probably for me this season. For me, this season is the biggest stinkers at a lot of them.
I know, but I wouldn't say that any of them are really, really, really bad. Compared to some of the shite that we had.
The home one from 2 years ago with the Easter Road sign and the Easter Road one on the front of it, that's an absolute shocker. I got a sponsorless. I got a sponsorless version of it, and the sponsorless one looks a little bit better, but it's the white panelling down the side of the shirt that ruined that one. But
I like that. I like panelling on the side of the kits.
That was a grower on me as well.
Yeah, I really liked that one. I don't know why. I wasn't a big fan of the.
Kills the top.
100%.
The Bevy sponsor absolutely kills it.
100%. If you take, and I don't want to get like down the realms of like reminiscing with previous sponsors, but if you put a better quality sponsor on any of the shirts, especially the green and purple one, that enhances it massively.
I think even if you just change the shape of the way that the Bevy sponsor looks, because it's a circle and then it's text across two lines.
You could have the circle like that, and then the writing Bevy next to it. Like Owen Wright done a graphic of Carlsberg and Cala on the shirt, and that instantly enhanced it. If it was maybe even Marathon Bet or McEwen Fraser, something like that going across the front, I think it's because of the size of the sponsor for me. Just it doesn't look right on any of the shirts. It was the same last season as well.
I mean, because I got one for Mila as well, and Tommy, and the utility looks so much better. I feel like the utility looks so much better on all the kits that have had Bevy on them. It's just the shape of it. It just doesn't look good on a football top.
Some
It's too
some shirts are
narrow and
better
it's too-
sponsor. Like some shirts are better sponsorless, and I understand that argument. However, a lot of the
I
modern
like a
shirts
sponsor on a shirt.
aren't better without a sponsor. I think a lot of them nowadays need the right sponsor, and that plays a massive part in the outcome of a shirt, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. To be honest, but Craig, you were absolutely buttering this kit up for ages and ages and ages since you first caught a wee glimpse of it, and I knew that it was going to let me down a wee bit, just because of how much you rated it.
Well, I will preface that with the fact that I was half cut when I seen it.
Yeah, and you did say that it was a
And
round neck
I did.
when you told us in the
It
chat.
was the away kit. It was the away kit that was around neck.
I don't see the away kit's grown on me quite a bit.
I don't know. Do you know what I think it is, right? I think there's a general apathy towards the club in general about everything that it's very easy to just hate on anything that comes out the now.
I get that.
I do think that over time Joma are churning out more stinkers than you look at the first kits that we got out of them were what the like map of Edinburgh and the pinstripe and the yellow with
Yeah.
sunshine on Leith on it.
That yellow. No, that's the wrong one, Shaun. You idiot.
Oh no, the sunshine on Leith. Aye, the sunshine on Leith one was that.
That was the first Joma third kit. Aye.
Aye, and then there was the.
That's the
that
right one, Shaun.
So those three are a great start, and then we get the print,
It was the stadium one.
the print and the cabbage one that I thought was class to start with, and that just no.
I really, really like that.
Yeah.
That stadium one. I think that's really nice.
That's
That one, not so keen on. The
And
black
then you've
one's an
got
all
the
time.
best one. The best one at the lot that we've had out of Joma is that
Yeah.
one by a mile, by a country fucking mile. And then the last three, like last year, I know you liked the beige one for last year, but I thought it was shit. See, that's just pish.
The home
That
one's
is just
okay.
shit.
The away one,
Sponsors- the purple away one's bought like that's probably one of my most disliked Hibs tops that I've actually had.
I quite like it, eh?
Nah,
But I don't like it as much as
You
the.
see the difference that the
Materials.
sponsor makes, though, like on these two alone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
Maybe they should.
I know, so
maybe they should get us
the-
in charge of doing the strips.
the third kit. I've not actually seen it in person yet, but
It's the same. It's the same kind of. Remember the stadium strip and how the sponsor was like part of the material instead
so
of
it's laser, it's like lasers into the material. Aye.
yeah, it's the same on the third one for this year, which I think is better because the bevy is like peeling off on my purple one for last year.
Yeah. So I think, and I mean the training gear they've put out as well. I just didn't like any of that at all.
Training gear's rank. Training gear is
Yeah.
absolutely rank.
Yeah, it's a
And
bit.
even their wee Leith 7 hybrid that they're trying to punt out as well.
That was cute.
But no, I think they've pulled it out the bag, and obviously they've got a big year next year, but it being the 150th.
Well, maybe what they're doing is they're going, oh, we'll give them a bunch of shite this year, so that next
Well,
year's one looks even better.
For what I've heard, there'll be 4 kits next year.
Well, to be honest,
I actually heard 5.
So there'll be
Five?
so it's the first, second, third, and then a anniversary special 4th edition. But see on the green and purple one for this year, I wouldn't be surprised if we use that more often than not.
yeah, well, I would imagine
think
that
that could
we'll
be-
need to use it against Celtic because we'll not be able to use the white one.
No, but I think that could become almost a de facto home kit as the season goes on.
I don't think so.
I think it could.
What makes you say that?
I don't know.
You been on the drink?
I think if the home had
The home
white,
kit's shit.
if the home had white shorts and white socks, I could maybe get your point because like Kelly away, St Mirren away, like those types of teams that normally have white shorts and white socks, we could then go into the purple and play it quite a lot. But I think maybe that's why they've done the green shorts and the green socks this year.
No, but is it not because they've got white socks and white shorts on the way, so they can be
Yeah, they want to
interchangeable.
be able to interchange it all.
As long as we didn't use white shorts with the purple and green top like we did against Motherwell last season, that was fucking atrocious. That really hurt my eyes.
Aye,
That combo of the strips, that was disgusting.
they'll need to. I mean, we've renewed the deal with Joma till what is it, 2028 or something, 2029.
I thought
So
last year was the last year, to be honest, but they
I
need to up
thought
their
they
game for
only,
next year.
I thought they only
I'm sure they would. I'm sure
renewed it
Hibs
for this
confirmed
year.
no, I'm sure Hibs confirmed an extension to it.
Yeah, I think no, but I thought it was only for this year.
Nah, I'm sure it's for another couple of years.
All right, well, fair enough.
Well, I tell
Well,
you what,
while
we'll
you're
look
looking that up, Craig.
absolutely. I'm sure we'll look absolutely fantastic at Celtic Park, getting absolutely pummeled in the purple kit.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, well,
The
it
long,
looks good in the black kit getting pumped. So
the long-term contract extension will see the Spanish band produce the Hibs bespoke on-pitch kits until the end of the 2029-30 season.
see, I was
Another,
quite sceptical when we got Joe Man, but
another 6 years.
I've liked all the Joma kits more than like the Puma ones and the Nike ones.
Aye, but see, the Puma ones and the Nike ones were off-the-shelf shite that they just stuck a Hibs badge on. Those Nike ones specifically. And then we had a good couple of years with Macron. That Macron one with the fucking marathon bet, if that had been a bottle green sponsor, that's probably an all-timer. But the red and blue,
What, the away one? The triple A away one?
yeah, but the red and blue sponsor kind of killed that a wee bit.
I like the one that was like the diamonds, like the gradient diamond from Macron. I like that one. I just like it when they do something just a wee bit different, eh?
It just feels that, Craig, you said in the statement there that it says bespoke kits. I just feel like the last couple of years they've become less and less not interested.
No,
but
well, the
less
away
and less
one is certainly
personal
bespoke.
design, if that makes sense.
Liam, I don't think you can. I don't think you can claim the away. The third one is bespoke when it's a rip-off of one that was 20 years ago.
No, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's
30
not.
years ago, you
I think by
fucking-
bespoke
30
it
years
means
ago.
that that's not one that they're going to give to anybody else.
No, but
But
the point is, like, it's easy. Any kit manufacturer could go, right, okay, we're doing the Hibs kits this year. What do Hibs fans like? Right, okay, they like a green one. Right, there's the home kit. What kind of away kit do they like? An away one. Right, okay, we'll give them a white one with a wee bit of green on it. What's one of their most iconic third kits? All right, okay, green and purple stripes. There we go, easy peasy. It's easy to put like a design in place, but if you look at like the road, all roads lead to Easter Road, like that one had a little bit bottle to it, so to speak. Loads of clubs have copied that since then. If you look at the Sunshine and Leith one, big hit with the fans, that's unique, that one as well. The pinstripes is a little bit of a spin on top of the white kit that we would normally have. So even like the purple one last year, Craig said he didn't like it, and I can understand why, but they've kind of put their own tweak on it by using the colour purple, not making it striped, but then using the cuffs and the neck, having the design for the 90s instead. Whereas this year just feels a bit too straightforward, and they're not even like too simple. There just seems like there's a little bit of, they all look like they're missing a finishing touch.
aye.
The home one especially. The home
Yeah,
one,
the
I
home
just feel
one's-
like that wee bit on the neck, it just is so like, out of place, isn't it?
The
I
home
feel like
one's
they could have done
not
a wee bit better, but no, listen, we'll move on. And we'll move on to a little bit of transfer chat, boys. Now, I've not seen an awful lot of rumours for players leaving or players coming in. A couple of things that I have seen flying about the internet are Kieran Bowie could be making the move to Easter Road, and also we might be seeing the return of Mikola Kukarevic. Don't know how much truth there is in that one, but I'd be quite happy to see him back at Easter Road. Would you, Shaun?
Probably the same amount of truth that's in the Kevin Nisbet one, if I'm honest. Listen, David Gray's been at the club for a very long time now, so all these wee players that maybe came and clearly had quality but maybe didn't work out due to injury, he'll know really how good they are. So if we get the opportunity to re-sign some of these players, it would be easy for him to say, listen, that could work, I could make that work. The boy definitely had quality, he just wasn't on the pitch for long enough, unfortunately. I would love him back. He seems like a great personality, he clicked with the fans. I enjoyed watching him. definitely works better in a two up top, which David Gray could sometimes maybe go to if we don't maybe get that number 10 midfielder that he's maybe wanting, or if he's maybe wanting to change it up. So listen, if anything comes from it and we get someone like Kukurevich or Kevin Nisbet or anyone of that nature, I think it would go down well. We definitely do need a striker. We touched on it last week. Quite interested to get Craig's thoughts on it. I mentioned last week about I felt like they were relying on Ellie Yuan maybe being sold, or the money that was going to come from the Ellie Yuan sale before they pulled the trigger on 2, 3 or maybe even 4 signings. So now with potentially Ellie Yuan being out for however long, that's clearly ruined whatever plans we might have had in place, and the club are maybe having to come up with another plan. I just hope that whatever they do pull the trigger on, it's quality.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we spoke about it last week, didn't we, Shaun, about the fact that we were hoping that by the time the St Mirren game rolls around that you'd maybe see us with 3 or 4 additions, but 2 or 3 top quality players that would slot right in at the starting 11. One that looks more concrete to happen, Craig, is Kieran Bowie, currently of Fulham, previously of Wraith, been on loan at Northampton the last couple of seasons. I've got his stats up here on Transfer Market. He has had 164 career appearances with 44 goals. Not all of them have been senior. I'm looking at his stats here, and that's 21, 19. That's about 40 appearances that have come in under 18s in Premier League 2. And the highest that he's played at has been English League 1. Is this a incoming that excites you?
No, this reeks of James Scott for me.
Well, I like James Scott, so
This is... yeah, I mean, I know he's probably touched on it anyway. I think, just going back to what Shaun was saying, Kukurevich would be absolutely quality if he was with the emphasis on him staying fit. He's a signing that would excite me more than Bowie, but again, I think it harks back to what I said about there being a general apathy towards the club, that even with Bowie, you'd have people looking at the negatives of him signing before he's even signed. Right
Yeah.
away, like you said, the highest he's played is at English League 1.
well, I've just calculated it here. So if you're excluding under 18 Premier League and Premier League 2, he's played 124 games and scored 24 goals
And he's what?
since 18-19.
24?
Well,
What is
since
it?
2018-19.
So 6 years. So 24 goals in 6 years.
Says he's 21.
21. I don't know. I just going what Shaun was saying about they needing to sell Ellie to pull the trigger on maybe getting 2 or 3, 4 signings in. I don't know what you think, but I just want to know where the money's gone. Like 2 plus 2 doesn't make 4 in this whole current situation with the club, where you've got Foley and the Black Knights putting money in February. Then we're getting promises of big transfer budgets. Granted, we miss out in the top 6. Didn't you see how that absorbs a couple of million? We then
Well,
lose
hang on,
another.
chances are we're probably still paying Maloney,
No, but
Johnson and Montgomery.
Aye, but we're then. But we'd have been doing that without the share issue, and we'd have been doing that without the Black Knight investment. So there seems to be a big pot of money that was there. You've got Kensal telling fans at an event that all the infrastructure plans are on hold. The money's going into the first team. They've given a rookie. I know we said at the time that Gray, we're quite happy with Gray, and I still am happy with Gray.
Yeah.
But you're effectively given. The only way that I could describe what they're doing to Gray at the moment, right, is that they're letting him turn up to a fire with a water pistol, and that they're giving him almost no. They're giving him almost no chance to succeed, because we're going into the first game of the season on Sunday. Sorry, with 2 centre halves and 2 goalies being the reinforcements.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Yeah.
And this is probably why I'm putting a bit of a downer on a potential Bowie signing, because it's fucking hell, a 21-year-old that's played in English League One. I know he's Scottish and whatever, but we we should really be aiming for a higher quality pedigree than a young boy for League One who's been at Fulham. I mean, I don't know if Bournemouth coming back for their American tour, if that'll see things start to move with some of their players maybe coming up on loan. I know there's been whispers of Marcondes possibly being back on Gray's radar, but there's so many areas that we need strengthened, and again, this we need the right ones. We need the right ones, of course we do. But Malcolm Mackay's been in the job for 2 months now. There's no way
Yeah.
that it takes 2 months to recruit and sign players. The club would have already had an extensive database of players that were available this summer. David Gray, from the day that Montgomery was sacked, which was what, start of May, possibly even before the start of May. So he's would have had an idea for a good 3.5 months. And in that period of time, we've basically swapped our sub goalie and signed a new number one and signed two centre halves, and that's it.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just don't know where it leaves us going forward. I know that's went right off on a tangent to what you asked,
Fucking
but
making me a wee bit depressed, to be honest.
well, mate, the thing is, you see folk trying to have conversations about it. It's like, oh, you're being too negative. You're being too negative, but there's a balance to be met between being negative and trying to be realistic and actually look at it in terms of the bigger picture. All the teams around us, Hearts, Aberdeen, Kelly, Dundee, as much as it pains me to say those last fucking two, they've all strengthened. That Ndaba's re-signed for Kelly today, another one that we'll have missed out on. They've all strengthened, and we stood still and gave Joe Newell the captaincy. And we're now back to playing him and Josh Campbell in midfield again.
The thing is, Liam, I can completely understand Craig's frustration on it.
Aye, no, so can I.
I said in the
It's been a few weeks
I
build up
said,
of that.
I said in the chat when you mentioned the frustration a couple of weeks ago, Craig, about we've still got like 6 weeks of the transfer window back left, and that is still correct. However, when you're going to St Mirren away, first game of the season, off the back of them playing in Europe, and then you'll play Kelly away before the window closes, and you've got Dundee
Celtic
at home.
there as well.
I know you've got Celtic, but listen, I'm not assuming that we're going to get anything from that, if I'm being completely honest. But the Dundee, Kelly and St Mirren games, you want to be going into those games in a much stronger position than where we are, because it's all fine and well. I could sit here and play devil's advocate and say, well, Craig, listen, we've got another 4 weeks of the window left. Like, trust the
That's what I was
process.
going to say.
This, that, and the other. Aye, and part of me does want to say that, but at the same time, we as fans, or the fans that are sitting here going, right, okay, well, the window's still young. We've still got another 4 weeks. What if we get to the end of the 4 weeks and we're still struggling and we've lost those 3 games? Do you know what I mean? The three games that you could earmark as potential winners, and then everyone's on David Gray's back. And then if we don't get the signings that we want, everyone's on top of the club and David Gray at that point as well. So I'm sure the club will be well aware of the situation and how quickly it could turn, and that's probably one of the reasons why they appointed David Gray, because they'll feel like they, as a club, and those above David Gray, will maybe get a little bit more time to get it right because someone like him is in charge. But I want to sit here and say, listen, we've got loads of time left, and I want to see quality come in. But my mood will quickly change if we don't pick up points against St Mirren away, Dundee at home, and Killie away. Teams that we were fighting with last year to try and get into the European spots, and we'll no doubt be doing the same again this year.
This is the way that I see it, right? And the way that I see it is, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that the people who are in charge of bringing players into this club aren't aware of the fact that we need players in the door, in the positions that we're light on. David Gray said it multiple times to the media that we're trying to get down the line with, a handful of players. They know what needs to be done.
Liam, you could have said that for years, mate. You could have said that since Jack Ross, when he was screaming out for just a centre half or another striker. Do you know what I mean? We've said on this
They're no
podcast for the last
stupid
two
though.
or three seasons,
They
They
know
are.
the
they know
board
what
know
needs
They
to
what
are
we
happen.
want, they know what we need, and yet we've still not done it.
Yeah.
We've went through so many recruitment models and tried so many recruitment processes and got it wrong. So I
Well, how
completely
can we get it
agree.
wrong every single time? This is
I
what I don't
completely
understand.
agree with what you're saying, that they will understand where we need to strengthen. We just need to get it right. And over
There's
the
too
last
many
3 or
folk.
4 years, we've had a lot more duds than we've had successes.
There's too many folk with too many fingers at the pie, starting from the top all the way down. That's the problem. And the thing is, Liam, right? We can. So Shaun can say there's still 6 weeks left in the window. You can say that, oh, you've got no doubt that they know what we need, and I can say that I'm frustrated, and we can all be right at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's no right or wrong way to look. I mean, I'd said to somebody I was speaking to about this the other day. Can when we signed Stokes the first time, he was a deadline day signing, and look at what he went on to do in that one season that he had with us under John Hughes. So it is the be all and end all, and it's not the be all and end all. Like, it's not all doom and gloom, but it is all doom and gloom. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that we are not coming off a position of strength where we can afford to let these first 4 or 5 games pass, because if we go into, again, it's all ifs, buts, and maybes, because we could find ourselves with fucking 4 wins out of 4 and into the next round of the cup. It's all hypothetical. We don't know, but we're not. We would be in a better position with a stronger squad available to the manager to get those potential 4 wins and into the next round of the competition. And we are
Yeah.
just. You just need to look at the bench on. You look at the bench on
Saturday.
Saturday. You look at the. I mean, Ray's probably chosen for the same 19, 20 players throughout the League Cup campaign. There's guys in there who we've opened, like Hardbottle's never going to make it here. Like, Nohan Kenny's been nowhere near it. Jake Doyle Hayes, fuck knows where he is.
They're about six
Yeah,
down the road, 6 doors down the road for me. I see him in his garden every day.
Why don't you ask him then? Does he look injured?
he's playing paddle tennis
Nah,
on Sunday apparently.
Oh, we
That's what it's
Sean.
called.
I wouldn't mind.
Just over
TDH
the
if you're
fences.
listening.
But no, there needs to be again. You can't be full toys at the pram, right? Because we've still got 4 weeks left. But we can look at it as an area of concern that with a rookie manager, with a rookie sporting director, with a rookie technical director, we have not strengthened the squad anywhere near good enough. And I can almost guarantee it, in 6 months' time we're going to be talking about this fucking midfield, and we're going to be talking about getting let down by the same midfielders, because it will be, at some point we will see a midfield of Joe Newell, Josh Campbell, and Dylan Levitt, and folk will lose their fucking minds.
Well, before that happens, let's cut Craig off from being fucking stressy depressy and move on to the listener questions, which I thought was going to dictate most of the episode, but it
Well,
turns out
this is
Craig, being absolutely fucking raging,
yeah.
has
I've had that pent up for a while, to be fair.
yeah. Well, maybe make it another 6-8 weeks before you come on next.
We'll
Get
just
that
happen
anger,
again, so it's up to
get
you.
that anger riled up, right again, right in time for coming back onto the pod. But
Like I said,
no,
we can
let's
all be
move
right
on.
and we can all be wrong, but
Let's move on.
Now it's time to answer the Hibs Ramble listener questions.
Right, okay, first up, John McIntosh. As always, he says dinner, obviously.
I actually don't know. Emma's been away to Blair Drummond all day, so no idea yet. Sorry, John.
Sean?
Creamy rosemary chicken spaghetti with courgette. Delish.
Sounds nice. That does sound good. I don't know what I'm having. We just did a big shop yesterday, so there is a variety of options that we could go for. So,
And this crispy pancakes probably for you.
oh, the goat.
Says it
I
all.
love Findus crispy pancakes.
Says it all.
You can't tell me you don't like crispy pancakes.
Nah, I don't like eating with the roof of my mouth fucking burnt off, to be fair.
Well, that's why you let them cool down a wee bit first.
Do I look like I got to the size I am by waiting on my food cooling down?
Takes a lot of work to get into that physique.
Exactly.
Right, next up, we've got AKA Rab, and he asks, if you could totally get away with it, what kind of animal would you love to dish out a healthy uppercut to?
See the first one that comes to mind, right? Is a fly. And I'm not even joking.
Oh,
They
I've had a fly
rile
today.
me up.
There's been a fly in this fucking room today. Landed on my leg, and as soon as I go for it, it's fucking away. But I don't think you can
Making a
class it
mug
as
of
an
you, mate.
animal.
I don't know,
I
maybe a
know.
bear.
It was like I felt like Walter White in that episode in Breaking Bad. The day. That's how bad I felt.
There is an
Fly's
answer
a
I
good
have,
shout.
but I'm not gonna say it on the pod because I'll get cancelled. So, I'll go.
Was
It's
it
an
a dog
animal.
or
They're not gonna. No, it's an animal. They can't say anything.
something?
I'll try and think.
Just say it.
Try and think of animals that really rile me up.
Seagull for me.
Oh, what a shout, by the way.
Seagull. Of
There's
Ken,
actually another question about seagulls a wee bit further down. So we'll get back to seagulls.
Ken the big evil one that's in one of David Attenborough's. It's got like the big shoebill beak type thing, and it kicks its wee chick out the nest. That
Horrible bastard. Horrible
aye,
thing.
probably that or probably a seagull. I'd go a seagull.
I'm gonna go an
Hang on,
ostrich.
and this is only one uppercut though. So I feel
Well,
like one
Sean just
uppercut
said
to
it.
one seagull doesn't do an awful lot, but if there's that one fly that's kicking about your gaff, and you're able to... Because one punch would kill a fly. One punch might not kill a seagull.
But you can't connect with a punch with a fly.
No, but this is... If you could get away with it.
What did Sean say? I'm sure Sean just said a dog.
No, I said an ostrich.
An ostrich. Why an ostrich?
Why would that get you cancelled?
That wasn't my answer, but that's the one I'm giving you.
They already look like
just-
they've been uppercutted.
They just look annoying.
I don't care how ostriches can rile you up. But fair dues, mate. You do you. You do you.
Seagulls. Seagulls.
I'll say
are-
fly. Sean says ostrich. Craig says seagulls. How many seagulls do you think you could knock out? Like if it was a collateral uppercut and they were all like lined up next to each other. How many do you think?
You couldn't do an uppercut next to each other. They need to be above each other.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean though. Like a collateral uppercut.
Well, I don't know because depends how big the gap is and how you can.
They're like right next to each other, like stacked on top of each other.
I'll go 6 just to give you an answer.
You could go. Yeah, you could do 6. I think that's a lot though.
One big fucking bang. I'd say about seven or 8. I think.
Fucking hell. I was thinking like 3. 4 at a push.
But that's because you've got wee arms and wee hands.
Yeah, true. Petite. Right, next up, Colin McLennan. He's
This guy again, man. He's still
absolute
here.
loser. He says, is it worth me buying a ticket for our last 16 tie with Celtic? Or should I just spend it on Euros for my holidays?
Where's he
You
going?
asked that question, right? And I frowned and went, "What last 16 tie with Celtic?" So
You're an idiot.
that probably is the answer that he needs. I would definitely be getting Euros.
He's going to Tenerife,
That's at
funnily
least a
enough, with
burger.
me.
That's at least a burger and chips at Sion Park, I'd say.
Yeah, nah, it's fucking expensive in Tenerife, by the way. No, I would spend it on Euros for the holidays because then you could buy me a beer and I'd be happy with that. Right, next up, Billy. He says, if you could sign any fictional sports character for Hibs, who would it be? For example, Jamie Tart from Ted Lasso or Terry Tate, the Office linebacker. I don't know who Terry Tate is.
Jamie Tart is a great shout, to be fair.
Jamie Tart is it's a basic shout. I was thinking about this and I was thinking maybe Bugs Bunny from Space Jam. but like into a football version.
Santiago Munoz.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Nah, no getting better than that.
Santiago.
Yeah, Muniz is a good shout.
Hey, remember when I played against Fulham? Right.
You'll see that Gavin Harris telling me shite. Next up, Liam, and he asks, what is your top 5 non-Hibs related football songs? If we could just take one each.
Aye.
What is your top 5 non-Hibs related football songs? Ken, what I like the Leeds United one, Marching On Together. That's a good tune.
I'm gonna.
Or
I'm gonna
the
refrain
one
from
that
commenting.
Newcastle walk out to.
Aye, that's a good shit. I can't be arsed for another toe tapper gate.
No, just don't say a Rangers one then.
Simply the best, that Rangers one. March On Together is a good one. There's is it maybe one of the Spanish teams that do one of their chants before a game?
Shaun, well, Craig's thinking, what are you
I'll
thinking?
tell you about it.
Not any Arsenal ones actually, because a lot of
Pokemon
the
or something.
a lot of the Arsenal ones are pretty poor, to be
They're
honest.
shite, to be honest.
They are.
A
They
lot
are.
of the English ones are
Not-
shite though.
I'm not going to lie. What is Flowery Scotland allowed? Can I allow that?
Nah,
Because
I'm
of
not
the
having
Euros?
that.
Nah.
Nah, I'm not
See,
having
because
that.
I was
Right,
actually
well-
about to say the Italian anthem.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be that would have been my follow up, Craig. However,
Yeah.
when I was at the Euros in the summer and I was at the Spain-Italy game, the Italian national anthem was absolutely dug meat. So
was it?
I was buzzing for it. Like that's apart from fellow Scotland favourite national anthem. I get up like that in the house, full blast on the TV, pretending I can sing along. I was rank. It was absolutely rank in person. So what I will go with is I'll go with the unofficial Spanish anthem that they had whenever they won at the Euros.
What?
that-
Cucucucurea.
Is it Mia Gran Noche by
Oh,
Raphael?
I don't know.
What
I'll
an
ask them when I'll
absolute
get Kennedy. I'll ask them, see what they say. Just makes you want to have a wee bit of tapas, that, doesn't it?
That one.
There's definitely
So let's go with that.
Spanish. There's definitely a Spanish.
Is it? Are you thinking of Real Betis that do Stereo Love?
No,
I want to go.
no, 'cause it's like
Cologne FC have their own rendition of Loch Lomond, which is good.
Yeah. Or are you maybe thinking of AC Milan, the AC Milan song?
no, because it's
AC
not a
Milan one's
song.
good
It's,
as
like,
well.
it's just a chant for the crowd.
Right. Well, we're moving on because I can't be arsed looking at you thinking
Beyond
anymore.
that, I'll go. I like that Man United one they sung about Ibrahimovic.
Oh, see that?
Oh,
Ken, what's a
Yeah,
really,
what was
really
it?
good one? Really good one. See that Chelsea one? I forgot the words. Is it
Chelsea,
Chelsea,
Chelsea.
Chelsea, Chelsea?
right. Liam also asks. He's got overrated, underrated. Overrated, underrated. Lee Johnson.
The longer he's sacked, the more overrated. Sorry, he becomes.
But see, Sean, you need to contextualise the data, right?
Oh, that wound me up something bad, seeing that on Sky Sports.
I'm going to say, because of what's happened since, underrated.
I'll go underrated because Ken Watt, he seemed like a decent bloke.
You just wanted to
Good
get used
lad.
out your flag.
Yeah, aye. Underrated, overrated. Rod Petrie.
Underrated.
Underrated, yep.
Aye, absolute belter of a tash. Overrated, underrated. This year's kits, I'm going overrated.
Overrated.
Just not even over, just shite.
Fair.
Bar the third kit, which is class.
Underrated, overrated. Danny Swanson. Now I don't know if this is about his time at Hibs or just Danny Swanson in general.
I'm sure Liam put him in one of his previous underrated, overrated. When I seen it, I'm sure he's been on a list before. I'll go.
I don't
I'll
think
go overrated. Great guy, but overrated.
I
Overrated
don't
for
think
me. Yeah.
he never really done much at Hibs, so I wouldn't say either or.
Well, that's not an option.
That's kind of what I take into consideration, Craig, because he didn't get the chance to do much. Everyone was hyping him up a lot more than what he probably was.
Yeah.
But then also he never actually got many chances to prove.
Either way,
I've just basically said what you've said, but in another way.
Next up, overrated, underrated, Graham Stack.
Overrated.
Underrated because I absolutely loved him.
Yeah, Graham Stack. I liked Graham Stack. And finally, for that, overrated, underrated, the food at Easter Road. I know what your answer is, Craig.
Overrated as fuck.
I think it's just fine. It's just all right. But when you compare it to some other stadiums, it's just a bit crap.
Whenever I see someone like buzzing about something for Easter Road, I'll go, all right, okay, I'll give that a bash next time I'm there, and I try it, and it's rank.
I was quite disappointed to see that they've not like updated the menu and they've not added like anything new. Not in the West End anyway, where I sit. So
Tell you what, right? I will give Hibs their props for their pies when I can take it out. If I can do that, it's all good.
I can that happens to me quite often. More often than not, I
not
get
in
a
fairness, right.
perfect liftage.
Nah.
If Hibs can add a currywurst to their menu,
Oh,
then they'll
here's
have me on
me.
board.
I'm Shaun. I went to Germany once. I was at the Euros.
I'll have you know,
I
Mr.
heard
McLean,
this-
and I have been to Germany a few times, sir.
I heard this song that the Spanish people were singing, and they sung it after they won the Euros that I was at, Euro 2024, Euros.
That
Shut
sounds
up,
like
man.
extreme jealousy, like, wow.
It is. Of course
Wow.
it is. I was texting Shaun all the time being like, oh, send me pictures. And then finally from Liam, this or that, cup final or fourth?
Cup final.
A cup final. I think
It
you need a wee
doesn't
bit. You need a
necessarily
wee bit of
say-
context to it as well, because it depends who you're playing and stuff like that as well. But cup final.
Just a shot at the cup
Yeah.
in the final. If it's a League Cup final, we wouldn't be playing Celtic. So.
I would take 11th in a cup final every single season. 10th in a
Fair.
cup final every single season. Sorry.
I think the conversation could maybe be argued slightly differently if it was guaranteed third, which got you European group stages, and it was a cup final and not a cup. Then I think there would be more. It would be a closer argument, but I still think a lot of the fans would go for a cup final.
Yeah.
Cup final. Next up, Ian, and he asks, why haven't we signed any attacking players? And the league season starts on Sunday. What has happened with all the investment money and the Melkerson money, etc. concerning? That's something that we spoke about a wee bit earlier on. So
There we go. I didn't need to
we don't want to set Craig off again.
No, I'm just saying I completely forgot about Melkerson as well. That was
Yeah,
here.
it's a very, very good point, because I forgot about Melkerson too.
What was it, a seven-figure fee they quoted it at the time or something?
Yeah, well, and then
Yep.
that's also the Ewan Henderson money, and you'd imagine that we got a fee for Wallacott as well. So there is money coming into the club, but just clearly we're not willing to spend
Going
it.
away to the vineyards in California.
Yeah, quite right. Next up, Bully Dogfather says, should Hibs play Sunshine on Leith just before coming out the tunnel? Clubs with anthems always play theirs. Leeds, Brighton, City, better than nondescript music we currently play. And for me, no. Save it for special occasions, or else it just loses its touch.
It's Born Slippy that plays as they come out the now.
That's a
That's not
belter.
nondescript. That's a fucking belter of a tune.
It's a proper Leaf tune, that.
Big fat no from me. Derby
no, I wouldn't
victories
do that.
and cup wins, please.
Yeah.
Is
Not
few
even
and
cup
far between they are.
semi-finals. Cup wins only.
Yeah,
not
cup
getting
wins.
to the cup. Yeah, not getting to the cup final.
No.
Cup
Lifting
wins
the
and
trophy.
wins. Yep.
Which we might do this season.
Agreed.
We might do it. Who knows? We're still on chance with the treble. So, David Gray's treble chasing Highbury.
Quadruple actually, because the 18s are playing in the
That doesn't count.
Caramel Wafer Reserve Cup.
Doesn't
tonight.
count.
It
Doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
Not
Listen,
for me.
If Hearts can put the 10 and 6s in their official honours, we can put this in our.
Have they actually?
Yeah.
That's a shade embarrassing from them.
Yep.
It's a shade embarrassing.
Would have been more about the being shat at the bed, quite literally.
Stephen Bell has asked, I'd like you to talk about buttered sausage. Where does it come from? What it does? Why is it doing what it's doing? Would you like it in your face? Is it your jam? And I seen this earlier on. And I was killing myself. And I said to myself, it's not my jam. I like honey next to the lips. Shaun clearly has no idea what we're talking about.
No.
It's a very
Absolutely
funny
not.
video from a guy called.
Sausage.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. I'll put the link in the chat. It's a funny video. It makes no sense. The guy's just absolutely nuts. A crackpot talking about buttered sausage. Shaun obviously doesn't find it funny like we do, Craig, so
No.
he's got low comedy IQ, clearly.
Yeah.
Next up, Muzz asks, thoughts on the new Northside Hibernian thing in the North Stand? Is that a Block 7 replacement? Now, I don't know. I feel like we spoke about this last week. I don't know if it's a replacement for Block 7 or if it's like an addition to Block 7 and they're just going to sit in the famous 5 and Block 7 are going to stay where they are in the East, but I don't know.
Well, they listen
No idea.
to the pod. Block 7 do. So hopefully they can drop us a wee message and give us the clarity that we need. I would like to think it's maybe a split edge, but not like on bad terms. Just like let's have one group at one end of the stadium and another group at another, and then that will maybe just
I
enhance
think
the
there's quite a
atmosphere.
few clubs that have like multiple.
Celtic have got one, don't they?
Yeah, they've got
Aye,
multiple
Aye, they
sections.
used to
So
absolutely hate each other. I don't know if they still do.
well, we don't care about that. Next up, we've got Nick and Matt's football podcast, and they are asking, we'd be interested in hearing anything more about the Black Knight relationship with the board. We touched on this towards the end of our last podcast, but we'd love to hear any more news. I think the only stuff that we know is what's been reported in the media, which is that apparently we're not listening to them, which is
Don't want
funny.
to get relegated anyway.
But it's never
Yeah.
been contextualised what we never listened to. So,
Yeah. Maybe they were showing David Gray the buttered sausage video. And he was just like, what is this? Maybe he did a Shaun and he was like, that's no funny.
aye.
No
And
listening to
Bill
that
Foley was
shit.
like, aye, well, if you had the chance to uppercut an animal, who would you do?
Bill Foley was like, if you listen to the Hibs Ramble,
They would
Dude,
uppercut a
Shaun,
bloody
man.
seagull and an ostrich, man. Those guys are fucking crazy.
those guys are fucking crazy, man.
Where's the
next
over
up.
there, the ramble.
Paul Walker is resurrected and has sent us a question, and he asks, I didn't know that Paul Walker, you're a Hibs fan, and he says, what 3 famous Hibs fans would you go out for a beer with and why? And I seen this earlier on, and I was racking my brains. I don't know if I can think of, apart from like the Proclaimers and Andy Murray. Andy Murray would be
Dougray
good.
Scott and Andy Murray would definitely be 2 of my 3.
Because you
John
can only
Leslie.
think of them.
John Leslie would be good for a night out in the town.
Ian Sterling.
No.
Previously
That's a good shout.
on Cab Vol.
Previously at Easter Road. Nah, not him. Douglas Scott.
Well, you've got Josh Taylor, you've got Irvin Welsh.
Irvin Welsh probably he would take it too far though.
Welsh.
I think.
Irvin Welsh should be good. Irvin
Josh Taylor would be an
Douglas
interesting
Scott.
Andy Murray would be a crap night out.
Nah, Andy Murray's funny as fuck.
Aye, 100% Andy Murray. 100%.
I'll get him in then. Get him in.
Andy Murray, Douglas Scott, Irvin Welsh. There we go.
Do we count as famous Hibs fans?
Nah, we've not got the
No.
blue tick.
Absolutely not.
We've not got the blue tick.
We'll
not
do
got
Andy
the-
Murray, Dougray Scott, and Matty for bangers.
Actually, aye. Aye, Matty Fairn is a good shout.
Sorted. Happy days. Happy days. Next up.
Grant Stott as well.
Oh, aye. The Proclaimers, too.
Yeah. Aye, so
don't
there you
know
go.
what
You
kind
can
of
chuck
answer
Grant
that.
Stott into it as well.
Well, Paul, if you're not driving, you can let us know who your favourite three would be to go out for a beer with, and goes for anyone else for that matter. You can tell us. I don't think there's many more famous Hibs fans, to be honest, but if we've left anyone out, then please let us know. Next up, Graham Whiteman. Is there still a strong feeling for the club's Irish heritage? Don't know where that question's come from. I would say yes.
That's a can of worms that we do not want to open, I think.
Yeah, we'll leave that for Ryan to answer. Mark James, should the club make seagull shooting the new halftime entertainment?
Depends what you're shooting them with.
Aye. Although, I mean, I suppose Shaun would probably be up for that.
Just use my fists.
Yeah, shooting them with your horns. Seagulls is bad though, eh?
Big bullet horns.
Has been for years.
Big Lee Sutherland. Flinging hands at the seagulls, man.
Oh.
Next up is Scotty, and he's again talking about the Black Knight stuff, which we've already covered. But the last part of his question is the Marshall Mathers LP or the Slim Shady LP?
Oh, what a question, by the way. See, if he had said the
No, I'm
new
not a
one, the
massive
Deafy Slim
Eminem.
Shady, then that's what I would have been.
Liam, I think you're just too young to appreciate it.
No, I like Eminem, but
But you see, I think if you think, see if you're of an age where you can understand it when it comes out, it affects you differently. Like that's why, like with me, I don't get so misty-eyed about Oasis because they were just before I could probably get it.
I like Eminem, but it's just like I don't know like the ones that are not
For me the I think it was the second option, the Marshall Mathers LP, yeah?
Marshall Mathers LP or Slim Shady LP. And I had a look at the track listings.
Marshall Mathers LP is clear for me out of those two.
I would say so as well.
However, his new one, the Deafy Slim Shady, is
that's
a
not in the
phenomenal
question.
album. Absolutely phenomenal.
Well, Marshall Mathers LP's got Stan, The Way I Am, The Real Slim Shady.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, like the Slim Shady LP is still outstanding because you got My Name Is, Guilty Conscience.
That's a good tune. Guilty Conscience,
Yeah,
good tune.
so I just think there's
Marshall
more.
Mathers LP is.
I think there's more bangers.
When did that?
Yeah, I would say Marshall Mathers with my limited knowledge of Eminem.
Yeah.
I was 8 when that came out. That is incredible.
Because you've got Kill You, Stan, The Way I Am, The Real Slim Shady. So yeah.
Then you've got Without Me and all that's on the Eminem show, the next one as well.
It is, aye. And then you've got Encore, which was an absolute
My
laugh.
favourite one was Curtain Call, The Greatest Hits.
The Eminem show though, Craig, is good because that's got like White America Business as well. So Clean Out the Closet, like you said.
There's one. What's your
Sing for the
if you
moment.
have to nail your balls to a mast? What's your favourite Eminem song?
My favourite Eminem song?
Yep. I can't choose between 3.
A rogue shout for me is Till I Collapse. I seen it live and it was absolutely tremendous.
Was that Tina Park?
No, it was when he done. Is it Bella Houston Park? Is that what it is? Aye.
I'm sure Tyler the Creator supported them that night, did he not?
No idea. Craig, what's your 3? God, this is the most engaged I've ever been on the Hibs Ramble.
Yeah, Superman, Stan, and it's just gone. I just had it on the tip of my tongue and because you spoke it away.
Can't be that good then.
Mockingbird.
Oh, that's a good one. I do like Mockingbird.
Stan,
I don't know.
Stan's just.
Stan,
Stan
I would probably say Stan.
Different
Stan's
gravy.
one of those ones that just stands clear, I think. But that and Superman, because Superman was the first one that I learned all the words to.
You got Lose Yourself as well.
Mate. Too corporate. Too corporate. Well, I feel like
sorry, I'm talking shite. Rap God's my favourite.
Oh, nah, I didn't like that one. It's too much. It's too much for me. It's a bit much.
Guilty Conscience 2 off the new album. Unbelievable. And Habits. There you go.
Fair dues. I feel like that's a good place to finish. Thanks very much for joining me, lads. It's been a pleasure to have you back on, Craig. And again, Shaun, it's very nice to spend an hour looking at your lovely face.
See you in October.
Aye.
Catch you next week for the next album review.
Yeah, season starts on Sunday, so if you're heading along to Paisley, enjoy yourself, but enjoy yourself by being disciplined, of course. And we will catch you next week. Hopefully we've got a couple more signings and 3 points to talk about. But yeah, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Let's get ready to rumble.